Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. So I'm going to discuss the film Dreamin Wild. This is Mike's instant movie review. Donnie and Joe Emerson are two brothers in the kind of mid-late 1970s. They kind of live out in the sticks. They work on their father's farm. And the younger of the two brothers is just a music prodigy of sorts. He's just like this, Brian Wilson type of guy. And young guy, 15 years old, but he gets the music bug. Their father, farmer, played by the wonderful Beau Bridges, not Jeff, but Beau Bridges. Kind of like Beau Bridges is always like he's like the Rick Steiner of the Bridges brothers. So basically, dad runs the farm and he wants his boys to be good old boys, but he can't deny that his youngest son in particular has a gift for music. His older brother is kind of, along for the ride as the drummer, but very supportive. His older brother is Joe is not like a natural born musician, but he's competent as a drummer. He's good, not great, but good. But he does have that brotherly support, and so these two kids, and they are kids, basically create. And their father, nice enough, builds like this studio for them to record their music on the farm, and they create this wonderful album. Back when it was a record, like a full fucking record, okay? So they make this wonderful record. It has a very kind of, funny or timely cover of the two brothers in like these suits that I think their mom made for them, and they had a professional photographer take their cover photo. And so they really put their all into this goddamn thing. And of course, because they're 15 years old, and I think the movie was filmed in Spokane, Washington. Not Spokane, but Spokane, okay? I lived with a guy who had lived in Spokane. He was always very quick to correct me if I said Spokane. It's Spokane. Okay, Spokane. So in Spokane is where the movie was filmed. I don't know if that's where it actually took place in real life, but you get the idea. So middle of the fucking nowhere type of place. Far from Los Angeles, far from New York City, far from Chicago even. So they fucking have this album. It's kind of ahead of its time. It's kind of like artsy, almost like a Radiohead. If I had to compare it to something modern type of album, you can actually find the album. Dreamin Wild, I believe, is the title of it. It's you can find it on YouTube Music now and other such variations. The best song on the album is probably Baby. Really catchy song once it gets stuck in your fucking head. And when you think that this kid was 15 years old when he was recording this wonderful music, it's very impressive, okay? So moving forth, we learn that the kid, like many people, he's taken advantage of by the music industry, these producers that want more and more money from him. His father basically goes somewhat into bankruptcy, trying to give the kid more money, but the kid's basically being worked, being manipulated, and taken advantage of by corrupt people in the industry. And flash forward 30 years later, I think we're in the mid-2010s, and everyone's grown up, and now Casey Affleck is magically playing the brother, the Donnie Emerson, and he's never made it. He's still working on the farm. Well, actually, he's a music teacher now. He's working in shit bands. He has a little studio. He's got a hot wife, played by the hot Zoe Deschanel. Still looks good. Zoe. Very pretty woman, very attractive. Kind of like a Muppety type of face, but still pretty goddamn hot. So Zoe plays the supportive wife. They're in this fucking cover band. They're not happy. They're not satisfied. But lo and behold, the millennial fucks discover their album, and suddenly they're the talk of the town. Suddenly Joe and Donnie Emerson, or Donnie more to the point, and Joe, people got to know who made this fucking album. Who are these guys? Where did they come from? Where did they go? Everything old is new again. And it's, an overnight success, 30 years in the making. This record producer or whatever the fuck, played by Chris Messina, He hunts them down, finds them, tells them that all these hipsters are into their music, that their album has been rediscovered, at yard sales or record stores or whatever the fuck, and people are circling and jerking about their music. And, why didn't this happen 30 years ago? Well, like I said, the album was ahead of its time. Somewhat similar to my novel, Fight or Play Basketball, A Distance from Avalon, which you can buy by clicking some links or going to Amazon and so forth. So basically, these guys now have a following, and people want to hear what these guys have to say. But the problem is they haven't really played music together in 10 or 15 years or maybe more because, quite frankly, Donnie was just more talented. I'm sorry, I get the goddamn names mixed. Yeah, Donnie, the younger brother, was more talented than his brother Joe. And so Donnie, somewhere along the way, kind of parted ways with his older brother. They've remained brothers, obviously. They haven't had a fight, but he kind of favors his wife and other musicians to work with. But the public demands, the hipster public demands that the brothers do a big show, release some new music, their original album gets re-released, and we're off to the races. So it's kind of one of these things where I don't have a biological brother. I do have a stepbrother, but we weren't particularly raised together. But I do have siblings, okay? So if you've ever had a sibling, if you've ever had sibling rivalry, you know that with siblings there's a thin line between love and hate at times. Okay, but if you've ever had a family or whatever the fuck, or if you've ever tried to do something artistic and had it blow up in your face, or put your heart and soul into something and nobody gives a flying fuck, then you might relate to this movie, okay, like I did. So I enjoyed it, and also the twisted genius of the creative, okay? I mean, I think, what's his dick? Casey Affleck does a nice job capturing the tormented artist. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you have the genius inside you, but you also have the demon. And what does that mean? Like, sometimes the creative people, they get so wrapped up in their own bullshit, they kind of look down upon other people that aren't them because they think, well, how can you not understand what I'm saying? Or my creativity is so goddamn awesome, then why aren't you keeping up? And this, explodes a few times. We see the dark side of Donnie Emerson when he kind of cuts on his brother, for not being as great of a drummer as he should be. At least he's, whatever the fuck. The Zoe Deschanel, his wife, tries to play like referee a few times, as a good wife in a movie should do, apparently. But I liked the movie, okay? I mean, I thought the movie was good. I mean, I thought it, I didn't know that this fucking thing happened. I guess I was sleepwalking through the 90s. I'm probably going to do another review on Author, the J.K. Leroy story. So all types of wonderful things. So did I like the movie? Yes. Should you see it? Yes. Especially if you like music. This is a movie that anybody can see. There's no blood and guts. There's no, big, strong sexual content or any fucking thing. It's a movie about feelings and creativity and music and family. So go see the movie. Or don't. Mike Messier.